Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I just wanted to give a brief update on what's happening in this country as at now. I know many people really want to know what's really happening. IEBC has already prepared Form 34C. Form 34C is the form which Wafula Chebuka will use to declare the President of the Republic of Kenya. So right now, if you go to IEBC platform, then Form 34As are all there. Form 34Bs are all there. Form 34C is also now active, which means Kenyans should be ready for the announcement from Wafula Chebuka. And who is going to be announced or who is going to be declared the next President of the Republic of Kenya? I'm always optimistic that that individual is going to be Raila Odinga. But a lot of things are also changing, which means the race is so tight. It could also be William Samoei Arap Ruto. But I want to ask anybody or all Kenyans on this platform that election is just a process. Kenya must move on. So that's the first update. IEBC is clearly now ready with a declaration of the next President of the Republic of Kenya. Then I also want to talk about what transpired yesterday, whether it was making sense at the Bomas of Kenya. Before that, in Nairobi, Edwin Sifuna is the new senator. The women rep is Esther Passaris. Then Johnson Sakaja, against all odds, is the next governor for Nairobi. And we are going to wait and see how it's going to relate with President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. The truth of the matter is that the choice of Polycarp Igathe as the candidate for Nairobi came a bit late, and so many people were annoyed. Those who supported Njoroge, the Jubilee or the original Jubilee candidate, were not happy with the choice of Igathe. The ODM supporters were also not happy that the Westlands Member of Parliament, Tim Wanyonyi, was asked to step aside. So congratulations to Johnson Sakaja. Indeed, against all odds, he managed to win. And that win by Sakaja proves one thing, that Kikuyus can actually vote for someone who is not one of their own. They had their candidate, forget about the presidential, because in presidential you can argue that they don't like Raila Odinga. But we're now talking of Nairobi, where they had their candidate Polycarp Igathe and Sakaja. If Kikuyu in Nairobi had voted for Igathe, there was no way Igathe was going to lose to Sakaja. Now, let us now get to the drama which were witnessed yesterday at the Bomas of Kenya. What was really happening at the Bomas of Kenya? The truth of the matter is that this election is going to go into history as the worst election in the history of this country. Whether Ruto is going to win, whether Raila is going to win, because of how it was handled, especially after the voting. The truth of the matter is that voting took place peacefully. Even if someone schemed to rig, he did it peacefully. But what happened yesterday on the floor of Bomas of Kenya is something which will taint the image of Wafula Chebuka throughout his entire life. You know, there are Form 34As which were uploaded on the system. Most of those Form 34As had issues. As a matter of fact, if you look at those Form 34As, there are cases where Raila Odinga's figures, especially in Kenya Kwanza strongholds, were depressed. But the good news is that majority of those forms were with agents. And personally, if Raila Odinga is going to lose this election, I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm going to blame Raila Odinga. Elections are normally won by planning, and it's a process that's according to the Supreme Court. You start planning from day zero until the end. I'm not understanding how Raila Odinga could not protect his votes in the larger Mount Kenya region, for example. Raila Odinga has die-hard supporters in the mountain. Some of these people are actually willing to bet their lives on Raila Odinga. But they were not given the chance to be Raila Odinga's agents. I was talking to someone and it was like, Raila decided that in the mountain, Jubilee Party was going to manage the agents there. How can someone manage for you your agents? Raila Odinga knows his supporters in the mountain, people who can die with him, people who have stood with him. If you put those people in charge as your agents, those people will ensure that the correct tallies are what is sent. So yesterday, at Bomas, William Ruto was caught red-handed and his team. And some fake forms were flying here and there. And the person who was doing that is actually the senator, the women rep for Uasin Gishu, Gladys Boss Sholei. On several occasions, there was a table somewhere there. In that table, there were 3 people who were receiving these fake forms from Sholei. There's a gentleman who was receiving the forms from Sholei. Then, because he works with the IBC, he was sneaking to these guys. And these guys were very keen. They were monitoring trying to block any camera and views. And then they were sneaking them in. So they were blocked. So the question is, if they were blocked around, if this was discovered around midnight, how many such forms were smuggled into IBC tallying center? And you remember the other day, Boss Sholei was found smuggling flash disk. And Wafula Chebuka should answer a question why that was allowed. I'm not exonerating the other side. The other side, as far as I'm concerned, there's no much incidents involving them so far. As in, they have not been caught red-handed the way Sholei was caught red-handed. Then, finally, within the tallying center, another lady was caught in some office with fake documents. Again, you ask yourself, how did that happen? The truth of the matter is that if these elections were to be left in the hands of Raila Odinga's handlers at Bomas of Kenya, William Ruto would have won. The operation at Bomas of Kenya is successful because it's intelligence-based. So the intelligence are picking up these issues, then relaying the information, and that's how some of these incidences are being thwarted. But it's late. But let us wait and see what's going to happen. I'm talking to people, and those who are in Raila Odinga's camp, they are assuring me that Raila Odinga is going to be declared. Again, I've also talked to my friends in Kenya Kwanza. They're also optimistic and very sure that William Ruto is going to win. So far, let the 2 bulls fight. But as a Kenyan, please don't harm a fellow Kenyan. Until next time, I know you want to ask me, especially those who support Raila Odinga, you want to ask me whether Raila Odinga is going to be declared the president. That's what I'm hoping for as an individual. But as Makwiny on the channel, I want to ask all of us to remain peaceful. Until next time, this is Makwiny. But my hope and prayer is that this circus is not going to go beyond today. Wafula Chebuka should conclude this process of verification today, upload all the forms, then Kenyans should now move if they are going to celebrate, let them celebrate. Those who will be crying, they should buy more handkerchiefs and towels to cry. I'm told there's also some people who have been going to diarrhea, to the toilet, to diarrhea, like in Kisumu here. Make sure you have enough tissue paper, because the announcement by Wafula Chebuka is going to shake this country. Bye-bye.